Brittany.
Beer. Nectar of the gods.
Beer. 99 calories. I like it. Oh, Jesus.
Doorknob.
Punch me. Punch me. Punch me. Punch me. I dare you. That's our cold open. Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, where the hell are you listening to this? You're listening to Fat Unathletic Nerds talking sports pod with Dad Bods. This is JackKnife, alongside your other host, Tommy Joe, and Zack Danielz. How you doing, guys? Trio's back together.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Cheers.
We're the three
Cheers.
best friends that anyone could have.
That we are. I mean, if you're watching this on video, you could probably understand this. For those not listening audio only, you know, it might sound a little weird because Zach and I are sharing a mic because someone didn't buy a microphone. Hey, I'm buying it right now. Sure. I'm also trying to buy a house too. It's a little bit tough trying to buy two things at once. You know,
right?
Like, I mean, who does that? Hey, weren't you at the Phillies game or going to the Phillies game last week? It was like $10. Like,
and then you broke out 85.
Yeah, and then I got like smoke in my lungs because I didn't go because that got postponed. Yeah, I mean, well, did we ever get the actual video of me doing the live report? Yeah, I listened to the whole episode after. You know what? Never mind. Scratch that. Nothing was wrong. Nothing was wrong. Nothing was wrong. I definitely didn't forget the audio from in that, and then fix it, and then put the audio in there.
No, definitely not.
Never happened. Yeah, that didn't happen. So anyway. What do you guys want to start on? Baseball, some NASCAR? I got some or do we want to start with basketball?
You want to start with basketball, get it right out of the way? Or?
Yeah, because I don't have any notes. I'm coming in extra hot this week. It's a good return. The Nuggets, I was so close on my bet. Or not my bet, my prediction.
Wait, so who won?
The Nuggets won. Yes. If you haven't known already. But
Swifty lied to me.
But they won in 5 games. But I guess the media was kind of right in my opinion because it was not the most entertaining finals of all time. But the Nuggets were just, like I said, the clearly the better team. They took it in 5. That game 5 was so bad. It was so low scoring. It didn't get intense, honestly, until the last couple minutes. And then, Jokic was doing Jokic things all series long. The one game he scored 40, which you mentioned last week in my notes. He scored 40 and they didn't win. But other than that, he did everything he needed to do. And just Jimmy Butler, man. He's not Himmy Butler anymore. He pulled Ben Simmons. He did. I had like a PTSD flashback when he went to the basket. I think they were down 2 or 3. The point is, you just got to score points, all right? You got to score points in the end of the game in an NBA Finals where you might go home. And he gets to the basket, stops, and then turns around and looks for someone to pass to, and then throws it to someone who just, the Denver Nuggets player just picks it off and runs down the court. And it's like, wow, way to go, dude. You didn't even give yourself a chance to win this game by just passing out. You choked. I mean, there's a lot of different ways people use the term choke, but I like to use it for that. I mean, he kind of, he shriveled up in crunch time,
I mean, that sounds like a textbook definition right there. Just cracked under pressure.
Right. Some people say, oh, it was just one bad play, which, sure, but you can't have that. You can't have that there. That's Cam Newton not jumping on the fumble in the Super Bowl. Ooh, that's right. That's you go all out.
We're not running the ball.
Yeah, not running the ball. Trying to think. That's like J.R. Smith. What was he running out the clock that one game when they were tied? What the fuck, man? So I mean, it wasn't the best finals, but man, Denver proved they were the better team. They had a bit of a cakewalk to the finals, but again, I'm not one of those people saying that. That's just the narrative going around to try and dispel them. Jokic was amazing. It's their first championship. Stan Kroenke, is that his name? Kroenke?
Sam Kroenke or Sam Kroenke?
Sam Kroenke.
It's Stan.
The owner of the Nuggets. No, Kroenke. The owner of the Nuggets, the Avalanche, the Rams, and some Major League Lacrosse team.
And he's won championships.
National League Lacrosse? Is that what it is?
NLL.
He's won 4 championships in the past year and a half.
Wow.
What in the fuck, man?
Sounds like he could buy a NASCAR team too while he's at it.
It sounds like he could buy me a house. Can I get something here? I need to win.
Kroenke, buy the New York Rangers.
buy the fucking Sixers at this point, please. I don't really have much on the NBA Finals because I think the notes I had last week kind of told the story that, like, the no-name guys kind of went back to being no-name guys. Like, they were just average players. Jimmy Butler didn't help himself out. Bam Adebayo was actually the guy that was putting in all the work for them. He had a bad or decent postseason up until they beat the Celtics, where he was like a ghost. But he was great in the finals, but that's just not enough, man. When you have a better team against you, that's just what's going to happen. The better team wins. And
I do got to retract that by the Rangers team. You said he owns the Avalanche, so.
Yeah. So unless he wants to own a second hockey team or a second basketball team.
Can you do that?
No.
Why would you?
I think James Dolan did try to do something with the Islanders back when they were in like their little ownership fiasco years ago, but I'm not entirely sure.
That feels like such a conflict of interest.
Exactly.
Well,
anyway, this is the Nuggets' first NBA championship ever. You'd never think that looking at the players. Like, did you see Jokic in the locker room spraying the champagne? He's like,
He looks bored.
My cousin Ray, he's gonna turn 6 in July. He was more energetic at my wedding than Jokic was after he won an NBA championship.
He's a fucking weirdo, man. That Jokic, he's an amazing player. Just
kind of sounds a little bit like Max Verstappen from Formula One.
Well,
where like if he doesn't win, which Formula One is just that's a topic for another time. But like I mean, obviously he has the best car right now. Whether it's him or the car, I mean he's guaranteed to win, and it's like when he wins now, it's kind of just like
he won by 24 seconds one week.
Yeah,
like wow,
it's crazy, and it's just like
in any racing on any track, that's ridiculous.
It's not Monaco, right?
Could have been Monaco. I don't know.
I don't.
But it's just it's like so like some of these athletes, you see them win, like I don't know, man. It's just it's like look at least look excited.
But Verstappen has a reason, at least in the sense that he's like, I won. Happens every week. Like Jokic never won the NBA championship. He's been in the league like 8 years, 7 years.
Really, that long?
Yeah. And the Nuggets never won a championship. Like, dude, this guy's boring. And yeah, I mean seriously, I think like. The media was like, oh, we want the Lakers and the Celtics and all this stuff. And I tried to not go on that narrative because it's lazy. But, like, man, that last game last night, I was at the bowling alley and I was sitting there like, how was it 81-76 in the fourth quarter of a 2023 NBA game? Like, that's acceptable in 1995. Like,
isn't one of your gripes against basketball is how, like, scores, like, points don't matter? Because there's so many?
Yeah, that points have like little to no value. But obviously, you got to stay within range. And like the most competitive moments of a basketball game are the final 2 minutes.
Yeah, it did get good. But like you look at it, we were bowling and like I'm looking up the score. It's like it's like a college game. It's just what was the final again? I don't even remember right now. It was so low.
By the way, this is his 8th year in the league, if I'm not mistaken.
It is, yeah. So like I mean. It was just, 94-89. Now, that's not a bad score at all. That's very much an old school score.
Yeah, that I like.
But, like, no, if you watch this game, it was sloppy. See, back then, it was a lot of defense. This game was just, I swear, the memes on the Miami Heat just basically fumbling the ball everywhere.
It's like an old Daniel Tosh joke he made back when he did Tosh Point out. I want to kill myself whenever an NBA team doesn't break 100. That's because no one gets a free taco.
Yeah. But yeah, dude. I mean, congrats to the Nuggets. They got their first one. It's always nice to see a franchise win their first championship. Yeah. I know something about that myself. It's great. So, hopefully they don't face 2 7 seeds and an 8 seed again, like or whatever the hell it was. I think they played an 8 seed, a 4 seed, a 7 seed and an 8 seed. That was their road to the. That's the reason people like to say like, oh,
Denver fans, they deserve it simply because they had to endure Russell Wilson.
Yeah, I
this year.
saw that.
Did you see Jamal Murray just completely ignore Russell Wilson and Ciara and their kids after the?
They're like, oh, come on, man, give me some heart. Nope, nothing. He got nothing. He got fucking shaded so hard.
Oh, jeez,
that was awesome.
But yeah, wraps up the NBA season. We'll be back to that in October. But let's get into some baseball.
Oh, we have baseball.
Yeah.
Now we can talk about baseball a little bit. It's actually getting real.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta air some grievances because it is about to get real now.
Oh.
Aaron Judge is hurt. As you know, if you listened to the last week, he had the injury going into the Dodger Stadium. Not his leg, it's his toe. But since then, as you'd expect, the Yankees' bats have gone cold. Judge and Harrison Bader are hurt. They went 2 for 4 their last 6 games against the White Sox and the Red Sox. Anthony Rizzo hasn't had his hit since Judge got hurt, but they're playing the Mets right now. Who knows? He could have gotten a hit, but Anthony Volpe, he's showing his growing pains. Listen, if he gets sent down to the minors, I'm not gonna be upset. It's like, hey, listen, kid, it's just not your time yet. But at the same time, I won't be upset if he stays in the lineup either. It's like, you're gonna grow in some way, shape, or form. But here's the thing: Giancarlo Stanton was not in the lineup Sunday.
Why not?
Well, that's the question. Why the fuck was he not in the lineup on Sunday? Like, he came back from an injury too, relatively recently. But here's the thing. This game was Sunday. He didn't play. Yankees had an off day on Monday. They have another.
Right? Yeah, why?
They have another off day on Thursday.
That's ridiculous.
Why are you babying Giancarlo Stanton in June? You are 9 games out of first place in the AL East. You are 3rd in your division. Like the Tampa Bay Rays are in another class right now, and they are like.
Are they though?
Yes.
Yes, they are.
Even after yesterday?
Oh my god.
What?
We have to get.
Oh, well, we'll get to that in a little bit.
I'm gonna watch that later.
But yeah, it's mid-June. Now's not the time to be babying your stars, okay?
No.
That's my gripe.
It's right before the All-Star break, right? Because the All-Star
it's
game.
getting close.
It's we're about a month
Almost
away.
a
month away.
About a month away.
I'm gonna make we should make ballots. They do like fan votes. We can do a ballot. At least for I think they give at least the position players. I didn't see pictures on mine.
It's at Dodger Stadium this year.
Oh jeez.
Is it at Dodger Stadium this year? No, I'm done.
I don't know.
Oh no, it's at T-Mobile Park in Washington. Last year it was at Dodger Stadium.
Washington's a decent park.
Oh, I love that stadium.
I've never been there. It looks great.
They're having the Winter Classic there this upcoming hockey season.
Nice.
We covered that last
That was
week.
a good one.
That was a good one.
That was a good one.
But yeah,
That was a bush.
those are the baked beans I had. Bush. If you listen to the cold open, which basically, showed why Tom punched me.
Well, more like a warm open after you fucking ripped the ass.
Anything you want to? I mean, I do want to say something about the Phillies.
What?
Nick Castellanos. He did it again.
I don't know what to
drive.
say. I don't know what to say.
Okay, Tom. I don't think you have any idea what we're talking about.
Are you talking about? You're not talking about the announcer that.
It's close to that. I don't know if the mic's picking you up, but what are you doing?
I need the fan on.
Give it here. I'll put the fan on. Okay, there you go.
I'm looking at the options, Shaq.
We don't edit here, folks.
Yeah, we don't edit. Okay.
All right, so
Zach, you take over the.
I'll explain the meme on this. Now, I think it's gotten kind of played out a little bit, but I can't avoid. It's almost unavoidable now because it's already happened twice. Actually, you don't even know the other one because I watched the Phillies enough. It's already happened twice this year. So, Nick Castellanos was, yes, Tom, the one who hit the home run when Tom Brenneman basically called Kansas City, I think it was, a city or the capital.
Begins with an F, ends with a G.
The bundle of sticks capital of the world.
On air.
On air.
He said that.
That's like you didn't realize.
Oh my God.
If you never knew that, that's where that clip comes from. Where the guy's apologizing.
Because he's apologizing. And Castellanos hits a...
He literally calls the game. He calls a Nick Castellanos home run in the middle of basically getting fired and apologizing on what. Out of all the things that we say, people get fired for dumb things because emotions and stuff. that you kind of, you basically just said a slur line on it.
You gotta take your medicine.
You're gonna get fired there.
Yeah.
So, after that, for some fucked up reason, Nick Castellanos that year with the Cincinnati Reds started hitting home runs basically every single time something awful or just morning wise, like people
Stan has a home run today, but
just bad things. And it was something as simple as like they were talking about a kid with cancer on the air when he was in the Reds, and he hit a home run. So last year something like that happened. I forget exactly what it was.
I think I remember he did it again. Like I think I remember.
It's a meme only online. They're never going to mention it on air.
No.
Because honestly, on air, they're the ones talking about it, and shit happens. So, this one that you're talking about. That wasn't on air at all, but when I-95 had that accident,
there was a big tanker truck crash near Philadelphia on I-95. Unfortunately,
underneath I-95,
major turnpike.
And it caused the bridge to collapse.
That night, Nick Castellanos hit a home run. And here's another thing. I think a couple days before that, no joke, Tom McCarthy. He calls the Phillies games on TV. He was talking about Lou Gehrig's disease. And as he's talking about Lou Gehrig's disease, Nick Castellanos was at the plate. And Nick Castellanos hit a home run.
I'm convinced Philadelphia Phillies fans are going to try to do something horrible in order to get this to happen. Honey, I just got myself fired from the job. Come on, Castellanos, do it.
I honestly
was he the one that hits Sterling?
No, that's a
that was
right? Yeah.
Ow!
That really hit me.
Yeah. He did it like a champ.
He did.
84 years old. But anyway, speaking of Giancarlo Stanton, what I talked about before.
I thought he wasn't playing.
The Yankees are playing the Mets right now. Well, he's in the lineup now, but he hit a home run today. So
that's good.
Could have used him on Sunday, Boone. But anyway, I got off topic.
Baseball.
Speaking of baseball,
all the Phillies are.
I'll be at Citi Field Sunday.
Yeah. Who are they playing?
The Reds. Cardinals. I know it was a red team.
Good shit.
I know it was a C and it was red. So.
Close enough.
Well, anyway, this broke like.
I'm going for Father's Day for my dad. He's a Mets fan. So.
Man, I should find some. Are the Phillies even in town?
Because it kind of works out.
My dad's a Cardinals fan. You want to go? I'm not going to say what I was going to say. That was really sus. Never mind. I'm going to take a drink.
You want to go, bro? You want to go? You have a bro down?
No. It was like uber gay.
It's June. It's fine.
And this podcast is being demonetized, even though it wasn't getting monetized.
It's never monetized in the first place.
We're now paying to put it on there.
No way.
But anyway, this news broke a few minutes ago. Tonight is the A's reverse boycott night.
Yes,
so
it
this is basically where the fans are showing the ownership, hey, we're not the problem. It's you guys. You put out a terrible product.
Basically.
But the news came out a few minutes ago, or at the very least, I heard of it a few minutes ago. The Nevada State Senate approved use of public taxes to fund a new baseball stadium. So
in Vegas?
In Vegas.
Basically, it's going to happen.
Yeah, it's bound to happen. So how would you even describe the A's fans' effort tonight? Like, is it futile at this point, or that's really...
No, I mean, you're still going to go... I mean, I don't...
That's a good question.
Vegas is a good market either way.
But I'm talking about the Oakland fans.
As long as... Well, no, because, I mean, as long as they're a good team, Vegas will accept them. Because, the Vegas Knights?
Yeah,
that's the hockey team.
They might win a Stanley Cup tonight. I'll get to that later. The A's are in last place right now. Might be on a historically bad... They are on a historically bad pace right now.
If the Vegas Knights weren't good... I mean, granted, they have the expansion lottery, but if they weren't good,
expansion draft,
but it's essentially a lottery. Would they be as well liked as they are? Because you take
probably not because
you take
this current teams weren't expecting.
Hold on, wait.
Because you take this current A's team, which sucks, right? I mean, there's no doubt about it. The A's suck, right?
Yeah.
So you bring them to Vegas. You know that there is a fan base there that can accept them and can embrace them and show up to games. I still think going to this reverse boycott game is still gonna benefit Oakland fans. Because if they bring that same shitty team to Vegas, no one's gonna go.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
So-
like 10 years later, we're sorry, we want to come back.
10 years, I don't give it that long.
So here's
But they
here's
just, you know.
here's the biggest problem with the A's, and it's been going on for years. If you're a baseball fan, if you pay attention enough to baseball, you would know this. The A's seem to always have very good players, especially in the past 5 years. They've had guys like Marcus Semien. A little bit longer than 5 years. I guess Yoenis Cespedes was very hot for them. Back in the mid 2000s, they had like Eric Chavez. They had Mark Kotsay. They had that team that went on the 20-game win streak, right? They played Moneyball. They had that movie come out.
I was gonna say, wasn't Moneyball about the A's?
Yes, but here's the thing. That was about Billy Beane, the GM, who builds really good teams on guys who maybe not many people are paying attention to for a very analytical staff, which is the
Sounds
reason
like
why baseball.
another coach I know,
Well, no, what?
Belichick.
Well, so basically that movie was about Billy Beane. Realistically, the owner, whose name is skipping my mind right now, has basically a
Current owner?
current owner who is the one basically that kind of for a couple of years urinating tree.
John Fisher.
Urinating
Goddamn.
tree. I want to credit urinating tree for educating me this the whole thing. John Fisher basically is a cheap sack of shit, and for a long time now, he doesn't pay his players. Essentially, a player, because look at the contracts you see going around for many other teams. Now, I know they're technically speaking a mid-market team compared to many others. They're one of the lowest payroll teams in the MLB. But the truth is, John Fisher has the money to pay. He literally never does. So these guys end up going somewhere else who are willing to pay them. And you can't blame them. Like, why would they? When you have all-stars on your team, they want to be paid like all-stars. They're putting out their best work. If you're not going to pay them, then they're going to, or when it comes to negotiating contracts, they have agents, they're doing work. When it comes to negotiating contracts, you're going to get lowballed by this team. Oh,
Why are you going to stay there?
Why am I going to stay there? These guys are going to give me a longer contract with more money, more guaranteed money. Like, that's why this has happened. And they were even good. They were actually good, like, what, 2 or 3 years ago? Like, 2 years ago, they had, like, Marcus Semien. They had the guy Laureano still on the team right now. They had, like, I think Ozuna, or was it Marte? Sterling Marte. They had several good players, and they just kind of, like, shuffle through lineups, and then they go elsewhere, and they continue to do great. Marcus Semien is an all-star player right now for me. But overall, basically, it's just failure of ownership, and in the past 2 years, he's basically sunk the team. Like, that's the reason they're going to Vegas. So the problem with going to Vegas, if I can pull it back full circle, we don't know what their market's like for baseball. We don't know if they're going to, like, the fans are going to actually show up for them. We know they show up for the Knights, and they put out a good product.
Do they show up for the Raiders, though?
I think you got to take into consideration with the Raiders, though, that football is basically king. Like, even when I worked at ESPN, like, they told me, like, football is king. That's where you're going to get your
Yes, but I've also heard that the fan base there does not compare to Oakland, even for the Raiders.
Really?
So, let's go to the A's now. You're taking a shit team with an owner who's cheap as fuck and going to a city who has... We won't... Because of the Knights, I won't say they're a bad fan base. But we'll say a fan base that isn't going to care if you're not even trying. At all.
You see, the way that I see Vegas for sports is... I mean, Vegas has its population. Vegas is a city. People live in Vegas. But I feel like the main key of having a team in Vegas isn't for your team.
It's tourism.
It's tourism. It's selling seats. Because people are going to go to Vegas and they're going to go watch their team play the home team in Vegas. Because how many fans at a Raiders game are Raiders fans?
Good point.
How many are just
don't know.
football fans? How many are, the opposing team's fans? You know what I mean?
This is all freedom of information.
Yeah.
I'm sure, moving the A's to Vegas is going to get people to buy seats. Whether they're A's fans or not.
It's like we talked about Nashville last week.
Which I still think that these fans doing the reverse boycott is still going to pay out to them, no matter what happens going forward. Because it's still going to show them, like, look, as long as people actually do show up.
Yeah.
Because, if no one shows up, then they look stupid.
Well, the thing is, they're so piss poor right now.
If they suck, they don't want to look like the LA Chargers. You know what I'm saying?
If their attendance even in Oakland right now is so piss poor because the fans actually have revolted against them. That all 3 farm league teams that they have, which the farm league teams like the minor league teams that they have, are all over the place. I mean, like the Phillies have a team in Florida. You know, like
so the Mets.
Yeah, so and then another one out in like mid Pennsylvania, Reading. So wherever those 3 farm teams are, they're all doing better attendance wise than the Athletics.
Not even combined.
Not even combined.
Individually. Yeah.
The Las Vegas Aviators, the Midland Rockhounds.
Wait, so they already
have a team?
A team in Vegas?
Like AAA, Class AAA affiliate.
And that's the affiliate for the A's.
Yes, Pacific Coast
So,
League.
I mean...
okay, that's a wrinkle none of us expected real quick.
That's like the Phillies moving to Jersey.
That is weird.
You know what I mean? You already have Blue Claws.
Yeah, the Blue Claws are high A. What was the Vegas one? What was the Vegas one?
So what they were called? Or?
Yeah.
What affiliate were they?
Yeah.
What level? A, double A? They were triple A. That's the one right before.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Okay, so that could work in their favor.
Yeah, but the thing is, again, it all comes back to does the owner want to spend money? Because here's the thing.
True.
Look at how shit this team is. They're on a record pace. They're on pace for like 45 fucking wins. Like, holy shit. There's 162 games in a season. That's insane.
But anyway, that reminds me. Were the Camden River Sharks a minor league team or were they independent?
They could have been.
But they did beat the Rays.
They did. They beat the Rays last night.
I just put $10 on them. So like, well, yeah, I mean like that. There's so many independent teams. This like the Savannah Bananas, you know, like them. Like
they're the Harlem Globetrotters.
But the Somerdale Patriots weren't
Somerset Patriots.
The Somerset The Somerset Patriots weren't.
Yeah, they were
now
independent, but now they're the Yankees.
Now they are. The Trenton Thunder aren't affiliated. The Trenton Thunder could play the Savannah Bananas.
Basically.
I think they did.
Can they? Well, they play it there. I don't know. I think they have a team. I think the Savannah Bananas have a team that travel like them the same way the Generals.
No. They tour around. They play other teams.
Yeah.
It's not like the what are they? The Washington Generals or whatever they are.
Washington Generals. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not like that. No.
All right.
No,
it's a little interesting.
Because it's like you have this team that like you have like the Globetrotters playing
the Washington Generals. The Washington Generals who are like apparently they are one.
Yeah, they won
like 255 hours.
But anyway,
I have been to a game. That's the only professional basketball game I've ever seen. It was entertaining.
It's entertaining. It is fun seeing them. They do make some crazy shit.
Would I go again? Probably not. But I mean, it was cool to see once.
They still do.
I'm not really. Boring? Yeah, I saw. I mean, it was before COVID, but I saw them at Prudential.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I think that wraps it up for baseball. Tom, take us to the racetrack.
Take us to the racetrack. All right, which racetrack you guys want to go to? You want to shift gears to Le Mans over in France, or you want to go to California and Sonoma Speedway?
Is Luigi Stadium an option?
Luigi Stadium.
Yeah.
I could circle back to a Luigi.
Let's do it.
Okay, so my notes. So, Garage 56, Le Mans. It happened. It's over. It happened. It happened this weekend. You have 24 hours of Le Mans. NASCAR and Hendrick Motorsports completed 24 hours of Le Mans, defying all naysayers. They took the checkered flag.
Wow.
Albeit there was one little issue. The gearbox blew with like 21-ish hours into the race. Now.
Oh, so they didn't win. They just made it to the track.
Well, they were never going to win. I mean, no one thought they were going to win. Okay. I mean, but although they were able to replace the gearbox and get back on track and take the checkered flag, so they did do that. However, the gearbox is made by a English company. A little bit of sabotage, you know.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
I doubt it because they make the gearboxes for NASCAR. So I mean, I highly doubt they'd want to lose that. You know,
that's definitely collusion.
Yeah,
I think that's the way. That's the angle I'm sticking with.
So they finished 39th overall, but they are the second Garage 56 entry. I'm not sure if I've explained this to you. I know I explained to Jack. So Garage 56 is reserved for innovative entries. Okay. So like years ago there was a car called the Delta Wing, which is literally like a 3-wheeled car. Okay. Like the headlights were on the rear wheels. Like
What?
Yeah, I'll show you a picture. It's real crazy looking.
Okay.
But like, it's just like experimental fuels, experimental builds, anything that's not like a regular car in Le Mans can opt to be this Garage 56. This year, NASCAR won that bid, or whatever they had to do to get it. I mean, I'm sure money was involved, you know.
Yeah.
But they're the second Garage 56 car since 2012 to finish the race. The only other one was a modified LMP2 car that was modified to use hand controls because the driver was a quadriplegic. He could use his hands, but he couldn't use his feet.
What?
Yeah. So like he would use he could move his thighs, but he couldn't hit the gas.
Yeah.
So like there were like a bunch of different options for him to steer and accelerate and clutch and all that.
That's
shit.
crazy.
And that was the only other Garage 56 entry to complete the 24 hours of Le Mans. I mean, I think at the end of the day that this went exactly how it should. You know, they finished 39th out of 62 cars. Unfortunately, they were towards the back because of the gearbox issue, but there was 20-something cars that didn't finish the race. And I really hope that from this, you know, this car doesn't just go to a museum, like, you know, it belongs in a museum. You know? I hope it can, you know, continue to race and continue to advertise NASCAR to the whole world. Because I don't know about you guys, but my TikTok feed this weekend was literally like, what the fuck is a kilometer? And then just shots of the car going by, you know?
That's awesome.
It definitely, it brought a lot of American attention to Le Mans, and it brought a lot of worldwide attention to NASCAR. Because it was kind of NASCAR coming out there being, hey, we aren't the hicks that you think we are, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, we can build race cars.
Yeah, man, we got some power around this some back here.
Because, like, all the naysayers were like, oh, you got to right for once, even though there's 6 road courses on the schedule already. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's 36 races. 6 of them are road courses, you know?
Yeah. So it's not like they can't do it.
No,
It's just, you know, it's like, you know, oh, you think we can't make turns? Well, you see you on them straightaways? That's what
So,
they fucking think. That's what they think. Once they get to the fucking straightaways, they're going to get blown away.
So they were in their own class. So they can't win their class. There's 4 different classes. But the class they were competing, like, trying to, like, benchmark against was the GTE. And in practice, they were 5 seconds a lap faster than the fastest GTE car. Usually the Garage 56 entry will start at the back of the pack. For safety reasons and for, you know, to save face, before they started the race, they moved the car up from the back of the pack to starting right behind the hypercars, which are like
hypercar?
Yeah, they're like
Badass.
I'll show you what they are. But
We
like
should show the
they're
pictures
like,
for each one whenever
Yeah.
he says a new car.
Yeah, send me the pictures.
Yeah, we'll
so
pictures.
the hypercars look like this, and they're like the real fast cars built for Le Mans.
Okay.
The GTE are like actual like Porsche 911s, Ferraris, Corvettes. Like they're like street cars modified into race cars. If that makes sense. Where like the hypercar and the LMP2 is more like a straight up race car. So they're obviously the fastest. You know, one of those two was probably going to win. So they started the Garage 56 car in between the GTE and the hypercars because they didn't want to see this big ass heavy NASCAR stock car just slicing and dicing all the GTEs to get to the front of the field.
Oh my god.
But I watched some of it and it was good. I wish they talked a little bit more about it, but I liked it.
I didn't know what happened this weekend, and also I keep forgetting that it's not a normal race at all.
No, it's 24
The
hours.
fact that not I mean, yeah, there's that, but I mean, like, not in the sense of like these are not all. I know every car is built differently.
Yeah.
They're literally all different styles.
Mm-hmm. It's similar to like the Rolex 24 that happens in January at Daytona, which I'm hoping that's something that now because like IMSA takes care of the Rolex 24. NASCAR owns IMSA.
So
see what I'm going here?
A little playing, yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully, you know, this car can make its way into the Rolex 24 next year. That'd be really cool. What happens? I don't know, but I think it would be cool to see them just go further and just spread NASCAR across the world.
Cool. That's fucking awesome. Man.
So
that's a crazy thought. Like, So this is the first time, though. This is the first time ever that it's happened? Or
So NASCAR went to Le Mans back in the 60s or 70s, and I think they brought 2 cars and 1 finished.
that's too old.
Yeah.
Nobody
But
cares about people
that
from the
was
70s.
back in the day where, have you ever seen Ford v Ferrari?
Yes.
You talked about it last week.
So you know how when they started the race, they pulled the gun and
Yeah.
the drivers ran across the track?
Yeah.
That's back when NASCAR did it last.
Shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Obviously, they can't do that anymore for safety reasons, but they can't have guys just running across the racetrack and they're just trying
I think that would be so fucking cool.
and then haphazardly strap themselves in and go racing. You can't have that anymore.
That'd be so fucking cool, though.
And that's another cool thing. So there was 3 drivers for the Garage 56 car, which most teams have either 3 or 4 drivers, and usually these cars have 2 doors. So like you'll get in, like the driver will get out the right door, and the relief driver comes in the left door. Well, they just have a window in the stock car. They don't have doors, so. Driver gets out, driver gets in. Yeah.
Oh, man. So they even dealt with that shit.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then also at Le Mans, it was announced that Japanese endurance racer Kamui Kobayashi will make his NASCAR debut for 2311 at the Indy Road Course.
Holy.
This is the first time.
So cool.
He's not the first Japanese driver to race NASCAR, but he's the first Japanese driver to drive a Toyota. So that's pretty interesting.
I must contain myself.
Because the first time I read the headline, I'm like, why is the Japanese
thinking that
Glizinator getting a cup ride? And then I looked further, like, oh, okay, it's not
God.
that Kobayashi.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought the same thing. I had to make sure it wasn't the same guy.
So breaking news earlier in the day.
You told me this sounds sacrilege to me.
I did. So Bristol, which is one of the most renowned racetracks in NASCAR, might be losing its spring date for North Wilkesboro, which is the track that told you that came back from the dead.
Yeah.
Because let's see, what are my notes here?
I before you say why. 1, my question is why. 2, what's the average fan say about that?
So the average fan is going to be a little torn. So I'm not going to lie, I kind of saw this coming because SMI owns both Bristol and North Wilkesboro. So for those of you that don't know, spring in Appalachia is wet.
That's crazy.
And they had a lot of issues with rain delays,
Right.
poor attendance, because people think it's going to rain and not going to go.
Yeah.
And then they had the great idea of putting dirt on the racetrack, which you can't dry dirt. You could dry a track, you can't dry dirt. So once dirt's wet, the track's done until it dries out itself. You can't put a jet dryer on there because you're just going to blow mud everywhere. The only thing is that you can race on a bit of a more muddy surface, but if it drizzles, you can still kind of get through it. But if it downpours,
You're done.
you're done.
Unless you have wheels that actually rip through it.
Yeah,
That's not what they have.
No, which the first Bristol Dirt Race is exactly what happened. It downpoured Sunday, and they had it Monday. So I went to the Bristol Dirt Race. I enjoyed it. I liked it. But having a dirt race in Appalachia in spring is not a
Not a good idea.
no, because we had short rain delays throughout that race. I think it got red flagged for rain 3 or 4 times.
Wow.
Yeah. But I can't be surprised that I saw it coming just because the attendance has been so low. The last race on concrete there in the spring before COVID, they didn't. Now Bristol's is a mile it's a
half mile.
It's a half mile. It's built like a football stadium, so they're seating all the way around the track and high. This is where they played football games.
Right.
They
yeah.
they had college games in there
In the infield.
Yeah. I remember the last race before COVID, before they had the dirt race, they didn't have they didn't sell the turns.
Really?
And even then it was still sparse.
Wow.
And it rained. So I can't say that I'm surprised if it does go away. It's not official yet. But it's very likely that it's going to happen. The schedule for next year is supposed to be out around August, the earliest, but probably September. And already in talks in addition to North Wilkesboro, is that they're going to go back to COTA, and apparently NASCAR is really eager to go back to Chicago, even though we haven't even been there yet. To give my opinion about Chicago, I want it to be a great race. I want it to be a great experience. I want NASCAR to show, hey, we could race in the streets.
You don't see it happening.
I don't see it happening. Yeah. It's Chicago. I don't feel like the common Chicagoite or Chicagoan, whatever, Chicagoan, is going to, like, it's not going to be like when I walked into Indy and everyone's just like, hey, it's May. It's race month, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to get that same reception from your average Chicago citizen. And there's already been reports of of stuff being stolen from the job sites of building the track.
Classic Chicago.
Yeah, like I just don't see it happen. I just don't see it because like the track isn't even that good to begin with. It's very narrow. There's not many passing zones. It's not even that great.
It could end up being like a Monaco thing with their current cars. So
Exactly.
Like how their cars are so bulky and like the track is so small. It's like
it's
you can't move.
There's not many passing zones.
And it's not even entertaining like it could be like Bowman Gray Stadium.
And when NASCAR goes to road courses, there's a lot of runoff in these turns.
Yes.
There's no runoff in Chicago.
This is not good.
So you're just gonna hit a wall.
And these are big bulky cars too.
Yeah.
It's like
I don't think it's gonna work. I want it to. I don't want to be like I told you so.
I'm kind of interested in seeing this now. I mean,
And it's July 4th weekend.
That doesn't help.
No.
I feel like
the new mayor doesn't like it either.
Yeah.
Because they already signed a 3-year deal with the current mayor, Lori Lightfoot. But and I know I mentioned it before about how like NASCAR got a steal on the property. Like they pay like $200,000 each year for the 3 years of the contract. Meanwhile, like the music festival that happens there the week prior or 2 weeks prior is like millions of dollars that goes to Chicago.
Right.
So, they're trying to build a whole experience like an F1 experience. Like you can go to the presidential suite and spend $3,000.
Oh God.
No fucking NASCAR fan is gonna spend $3,000.
No.
And no one in Chicago is gonna spend $3,000 to go to a NASCAR race. You know what I mean?
No.
It's in Grant Park, so it's not like in the middle of Chicago, but it's like between the concert and setting up the track and then tearing down the track. You're looking at like maybe 2 months that you can't use as part of Chicago.
Shit. Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, we still have a month, like almost a month till then.
Yeah.
At least 4 weeks. At least 3-4 weeks right now.
Yeah. It's just, I just don't see it being a good race. But to quickly recap Sonoma, which was the other road course that NASCAR was at this week, all NASCAR was at this week.
Nice.
Martin Truex Jr. wins at Sonoma. It's the second road course of the year without stage breaks. And it kind of got drawn out, because they don't have the stage breaks to bunch everyone back up. The first caution was actually for a loose wheel on pit road, which probably wouldn't have been a caution normally, but because there hasn't been one, well into stage 2, they were like, we gotta
stop.
We gotta do something, you know what I mean? And Martin Truex Jr. had this thing where he just wins the most boring races. He'll just dominate and he wins. Where Kyle Larson, if he dominates, he loses.
I feel like that's a trend in NASCAR though. A lot of times, never the guy that's actually gonna run the whole race.
Yeah.
They usually someone pulls in and pulls away. But.
Yeah. But usually Truex, if he's dominant in the race, he's gonna pull away with the win. Really? Usually. 9 times out of 10, he wins the most boring races. He won the Coke 600 and just I think it's it's a mile and a half, so it's 400 laps. 400 laps, and he led 398 or something like that.
I think I read that.
He just put on a clinic, you know what I mean? It's just
because that's a lot. That's impossible.
That is a lot. It's the longest race of the year. It's 600 miles.
Yeah.
So.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Well, Sonoma. Which is your favorite race? Which is your favorite road course?
My favorite road course is Watkins Glen, which is up in New York, because it's a very fast track.
Yeah.
It's a fast track, momentum-based track where each turn will carry your speed into the next turn. Where if you miss one, your whole lap is done. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you're not really going to gain time.
Every other road course seems like it's a little bit more
Technical.
convoluted, but like Watkins Glen's like straight away, turn, straight, turn, straight, turn. Like we're not really even straight. It's like a little kind of like a hook in the track. But it's
that's called the bus stop.
bus stop.
Yeah.
Well, it is a faster track.
Yeah.
It's not complex at all.
No, it's one of the fastest road courses.
It makes each turn that much more important because other road courses it's just constant. You know, it's going around seeing if someone can find an opening. Watkins Glen's like, all right, what's going to happen at that turn? What's going to happen at that turn?
It's like a road course made for NASCAR.
Yeah,
you know what
perfect.
I mean? If you want to look like good, if you look up good road course battles, majority of them are at Watkins Glen. Where if you want to look up a really good one on your own time, look up I think it was 2012 between Brad Keselowski and Marcus Ambrose, where they battled it out for the last 2 laps, and they're literally just door to door, bumper to bumper.
At Watkins?
Yeah.
Or you could show the one in I think it was New Mexico, Robbie Gordon taking out Marcus Ambrose.
Yes. Yes.
That was the film.
That reminds me. More breaking news. NASCAR is probably going to go back to Canada.
In Canada.
There was a Canadian track that they raced. I'm going to butcher the name, so I'm not even going to say it. The Xfinity Series used to race there, but now the Cup Series might be racing there. In lieu of them losing California Speedway.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
That makes more sense. 'Cause I know
Sport Park.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I know one of the A's in NASCAR is America, so
Yeah.
I was having a bit of an issue. Unless they wanted to make that C Canada.
The A NASCAR. It's the National Association of Stock Car Auto Racing.
Shit.
Yeah.
Man,
But they do have a Canadian series, they have a Mexican series, they now have a Brazilian series, and they have a European series.
Oh shit, that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
So Robbie Gordon taking out Marcus Ambrose was in Canada.
I believe it was Canada, yeah.
Okay.
Because they haven't been to Mexico in years.
Okay.
But last time they went to Mexico, they all got jumped. So, I mean, it's Mexico. But I guess that wraps up my NASCAR racing talk. And yeah, so next week, just a little bit of self-promotion here. So next week, there's no race this coming weekend on Father's Day, which I think is stupid. I'd much rather take my dad to a race on Father's Day than take my mom to a race on Mother's Day. But
I lost track of how many times you said this.
So next week on Armchairs, we're going to have a State of the Sport address.
Ooh.
Where Alex and I are going to go in depth and kind of commemorate where NASCAR's got what they've gotten right, and then we're going to seek the areas where they've gotten wrong, and we're going to give our ideas of how to fix the sport.
Ooh. I like this idea.
You're going to release back-to-back episodes.
I really want to hear this.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's going to be next week's episode, and Logan is going to give a little segment on Kevin Harvick. Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah.
Coming up FUNTS.
Look at that. We got contributors now. This is great.
Yeah.
We need some promotion, man.
We do.
We got to get some ad revenue.
But anyway, I guess we go into hockey right now.
Yeah,
Yes,
dude,
it
I want to
is.
hear hockey because wait, where are we in the Stanley Cup right now?
It's 3-1 Golden Knights. They're about to face off in a few minutes, but we got some breaking news as we were recording this podcast. Matthew Tkachuk, the Panthers' best skater of the series, is not playing tonight.
Oh, they're fucked.
Oh.
They're fucked.
Yeah.
They're fucked.
I mean, usually you don't hear about the type of injuries these guys have until after their season's over, but it's gotta be bad if Chucky is not playing tonight, and that's devastating for the Panthers.
Is the Stanley Cup playoffs the longest playoffs?
It's the same as basketball. Well, basketball has a play-in round. I don't want hockey to have a play-in round, but
It's
Because I feel
It's
like
not the same
true. I feel like we were talking about both the NBA Finals and the
They
Stanley
it
Cup
spans over
for
2.5 months.
since I've been doing NASCAR.
maybe
So,
like 2 months. Maybe like
Yeah, it
two.
spans 2.5 months.
That's like a football season.
But yeah, the Knights.
Kind of is.
But yeah, the Golden Knights are leading 3-1 in the series. They're about to face off Game 5 at the time of this recording. Editing JackKnife will provide an update later. Game 3, Brandon Montour broke a 10-game... Brandon Montour, he's a Florida Panther. Brandon Montour broke a 10-game goalless drought. And this is shortly after his kid was born, near the beginning of the series.
Oh, congrats to him.
Yeah, he flew to Florida and then back to Vegas.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. But Mark Stone and Jonathan Marchessault continued to do well for Vegas that game. The aforementioned Matthew Tkachuk, as the Panthers were facing going down 3-0 in the series late. They pulled the goalie. Matthew Tkachuk scored with 2 minutes, 13 seconds left in the game. Or in regulation, I should say. And he took a huge hit from Keegan Kolesar, very similar to the hit that he laid on Eichel in Game 2. And he had to go into a concussion protocol for that. But yeah, that just shows he's a warrior. He was okay. He came back to the game. And, the Panthers were grateful for it. Because Carter Verhaeghe, who was the hero in Game 7 in the first round.
What's that last name?
Carter Verhaeghe.
Verhaeghe.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, I'm good. But yeah, Carter Verhaeghe, who was the hero in Game 7 overtime against the Boston Bruins, scored the winner in that. However, in Game 4, for the Vegas, Chandler Stevenson scored twice. William Karlsson scored the other goal. The Panthers were down 3-0. They did get within one. And, they got goals from Montour again and Alexander Barkov. And when the clock hit 0 in Game 4, they came so close to tying that game. But the clock hit 0, just absolute chaos ensued. They were all there was a big fight at the end. Even the goalie, Aiden Hill, got involved. And the Panthers fans were throwing garbage and their toy rats on the ice. Yes, toy rats. You probably have. You're looking at me like, what?
Don't know that one.
In 1995, Panthers captain Scott Mellenby killed a rat in the clubhouse and wanted to score 2 goals to win that night. So
yeah, sure. Let's just keep that trend going. I guess why not?
But yeah, Bobrovsky had a couple bounce back games, but still Florida has their back to the wall. I said if the Panthers won Game 3, this series was going 7. And initially when I wrote this, I wrote, I'm standing by that. But now that Tkachuk is out, I think it's going to end tonight. It's going to end, as I'm editing this. Let's see if I'm right or wrong. Editing JackKnife, what happened?
Hey guys, editing JackKnife here, back like I promised to be with an update after Game 5. And the NHL season is officially over, and the 2023 Stanley Cup champions are the Vegas Golden Knights. Game 5 was an absolute slaughter. The Knights beat the Panthers 9-3. Mark Stone picked up a hat-trick, and Jonathan Marchessault is the Conn Smythe winner for playoff MVP, registering 13 goals and 12 assists for a total of 25 points. Vegas was almost a perfect team throughout the playoffs, and it's safe to say they'll be contending for this cup again for years to come. Now, back to the video.
Thank you for the update. All right. In some other NHL news, the Devils had a trade with the Columbus Blue Jackets. The Devils received a third-round pick while sending Columbus one of their defensemen, Damon Severson, who was basically a sign-and-trade. Severson gets an 8-year contract worth $50 million total. And I think the Devils just knew, he's an unrestricted free agent on July 1st. He's not coming back. Let's at least get something for him. So it's a good trade for the Devils. And Columbus is rebuilding. This is a good trade for the Blue Jackets, too. And the Calgary Flames promoted their assistant coach, Ryan Huska, from assistant coach to head coach. He's been in the organization for a little bit of time, and now he's getting a promotion. And when they did that for a little bit, the New York Rangers were the last remaining NHL team without a head coach. That changed today while I was at work. The New York Rangers named their 37th coach in team history, Peter Laviolette. He's got an impressive resume. He's been to 3 Stanley Cups. He's won one of them in 2006.
Have you talked about him? Have you talked about him before? Because that name sounds familiar.
I have talked.
I don't think about Lavalette, New Jersey, but
I've talked about him a little bit. I talked about him a little bit in Cutting Edge. In the recent Cutting Edge, where it's I kind of want to see what his assistants are going to be. Because, he's coached 5... He's been around. He's coached 5 of the teams in the Rangers division now.
Round. He
so
gets
it's
around.
Okay, he's good. I think he is an improvement. I think he's an improvement over Gerard Gallant. But at the same time, it's shown his coaching style can get stale. Well, you know what? I'm going to go into more detail about this in a new episode of Cutting Edge. I'm going to message my friend Frank Curto. He agreed that we're going to do an episode once they announce a coaching hire. But Zach, you want to say something?
I'm just gonna break in real quick. I swear to God, man, every time we make a meme, something happens. To counter that meme. Like, we'll make a joke about how a player's doing great, and then they'll suck, or like how a player's doing great, and they'll get injured, or freaking you make a meme. Oh, I'm waiting for the Rangers. That Majin Buu meme.
Majin Buu, yeah.
And like a day later, what is it? It's like a day later, right?
Well, yeah, because you made the meme about still waiting for a.
Still waiting for the Rangers. I'm telling you, it happens so often. I swear, I can't name every single time, but like. It's insane.
So we're never making a meme about Denny Hamlin not winning a championship.
No, we're definitely not going to do that right now.
We're definitely not doing that.
But yeah, well,
Tom, get on
it. No, I don't want to win a championship. That's why we're not doing it.
Yeah, I don't know when we're going to do that next episode of Cutting Edge. It's going to be an interview, not any of that video editing stuff like I did the last time because that took way too long. But other Rangers stuff. Here's something I realized. The Rangers and Flyers literally swapped their coaches from 2012 at this point.
Oh, really? That's where I've heard the name. That's where I've heard that name.
Peter Laviolette was the coach of the Flyers when they were in the Winter Classic in 2012. He took the Flyers to the Stanley Cup in 2010 where they lost to the Blackhawks.
Wow.
And John Tortorella was the coach of the Rangers in the Winter Classic. Yep. That was the Rangers' first outdoor game. And now, John Tortorella is the coach for the Flyers, and Peter Laviolette is the coach for the Rangers. Funny how that comes. They're both great coaches, in my opinion. Are they dinosaurs? Kind of, but at the same time, they get rehired for a reason. They're good coaches.
I actually have had Flyers talk on the radio.
Yes.
Which is nice because Keith Jones was on WIP for 20 plus years, I think, in the morning show. And he talked about every sport. So everyone who listens to the radio and knows he's a good guy. He's very funny, and he does a lot of. I think he's a commentator on like TNT or something like that. Or he had commentated a lot.
At the very least, he was on NBC.
Yeah, he would. Yes, it was NBC, I believe, because that's Philadelphia's affiliate for all sports. NBC Philadelphia. So it brought a little bit more excitement knowing. We actually have a personal connection to this guy, and like I said, the one episode he did a full hour of just letting people call in and ask him questions. That's fucking cool. You don't see that from executives ever.
Yeah,
ever.
Yeah, and like during the season, like Flyer fans might be looking at this and be like, "Why haven't we made the trade like the Provorov trade? Why haven't we made these trades like during mid-season? We could have had better chances of getting Connor Bedard, but at the same time, they didn't have the regime. Keith Jones wasn't there yet.
It seems as though that they realize what they had. Like they're taking the good and they have to they're measuring out what they're going to keep.
Yes.
Provorov, I'm sure they probably were like, we want to keep him, but he was also expendable. Right now, the big question is, what are they going to do with Carter Hart?
They're 100% going to trade him.
That seems to be the leading opinion, but a lot of people also are like, are we really going to complain about a goalie again? Because apparently the Flyers have been waiting for a goalie for years. So they finally got this young kid. I think he struggled a little bit, but he's also 22, 23?
I'll find out for you right now.
How old is he? He's very young.
Age.
He's not old
24.
in hockey years.
24.
So he was like 19 when he came up. He was young. So I think they're trying to figure out if he's going to be the one that they try to stick by and keep as the homegrown talent. Similar to the Phillies right now who have Rhys Hoskins on the bench at the moment. He was there in 2017. He came up when they were crap, and he started hitting home runs the last month and a half of the season. I think him and Aaron Judge had comps for a couple of years because of how many home runs they hit to start out the career. And yeah, that's why when they went to the World Series last year, it was big for Rhys Hoskins because he was basically the clubhouse guy. Is Carter Hart the guy that keeps his team together? Who knows? He's a goalie. It's a little different, I assume. Right? So they have big moves to make, but I remember Jones saying that Tortorella, regarding, the coaches, trying to bring it back full circle, the coaches maybe being dinosaurs, well, they must have some sort of acumen that executives like and teams are going to take, because I know that Tortorella guy, as you said, is a fiery dude.
He is.
Apparently, Keith Jones has said, we like that. It fits the city. It fits, and we believe this guy wants to win.
That's why when they hired him, I was like, this is either going to be really good for the Flyers or really bad. It's not going to be in between.
If it was going to be, and the thing about the really bad is only if the game passes him by completely. because apparently the game hasn't.
He's not quite in the Babcock stage.
They're saying the game hasn't. They're clearly not saying. Keith Jones is clearly not saying that the game has passed him by, but he admits that we got to get some stuff around him to see if it actually does work. Is he the guy, or is this just a full on is he actually still got it? We have to find out because we have to get the players. Right. They don't have the players right now. So, but yeah, that's a little Flyers. That's the little Flyers that I know. It's just cool that they're actually talking about him again, at least a little bit. Eagles and Phillies dominate. And
as the Flyers get better, and I think eventually they will get better, that should be your team. They really should be.
To circle back just a little bit about what you're saying about the radio, I think right now the biggest thing in anything that's, big is transparency.
Well, yeah, that's going to help.
Especially with everything that we have with social media these days. Anything where you can just be open like that with the fan base is just going to be exponential for your growth.
I think it was also, when I listened to the hour, it was almost funny because I've been listening to Keith Jones for many years, listening to WIP. I remember he was there calling everything in the mornings. He was there and he would bust a lot of jokes. He was actually a very, very funny dude. But it was very weird listening to him talk like an executive. And he was even saying that, I think I might have said it in the last episode where I was here, or whenever we last talked about it, that he didn't hold punches and he didn't step on toes and he didn't completely crap on the Flyers. But there were times, I think he said, there were times where I wanted to say stuff, but I just couldn't because it's not my place. I wasn't the executive. Now I have a say. And now I can make the changes that I believe that this team needs to be made.
All right, well,
and it's awesome. I hope it fucking works because I really like the guy. And again, you said the transparency. That's the funny thing. Callers were calling in. They're like, "Hey, what's going on, Jonesy?" They know him. They've talked to him for many years. They met him. Because a lot of the time, some of the radio teams go to games like the Phillies games or the Eagles games, and they meet him out in bars at the place.
That's gonna build up the Flyers fan base.
They were so much
because that's so that they can relate.
The Flyers already have a big fan base.
They weren't just calling as fans. They were calling as friends. It's crazy.
It was the final 3 years of his career in Philadelphia. So.
It was a crazy hour. And I remember him talking about the Flyers and how even though it was only 3 years compared to a lot of years, I think with Washington, he was drafted by. Maybe someone else in the middle there, but he said he hated playing there on any other team. He loved playing there when he was on, and that's why he assimilated with the crowd and came to WIP.
5 years with the Capitals, 3 years with the Colorado Avalanche.
Yeah, so he apparently enjoyed the time enough in Philadelphia to stick around and be on the
He was on the Capitals when the Rangers beat them in the second round of the 1994 playoffs. So.
Maybe not so much as build a fan base, but it's going to build trust. It's going to build a lot of trust in that fan base, and it's going to be a very strong fan base.
And considering the team is owned by Comcast, it's a little bit interesting. It's kind of funny how they're owned by Comcast, who clearly has shown to not give a shit about the team.
Yeah, but now fans shown their disdain.
And now they've hired a guy who worked in
Comcast.
Yeah,
who worked in the media. I don't know if he worked for. I don't know who's the affiliates and stuff. But the point is, you have a guy who knows how to manage the media.
He worked in the trenches.
He worked in the media. He knows how this shit works. He did not pull punches in that. He didn't say anything outlandish. It wasn't anything prolific or anything like that. He just answered questions. And again, like I said, it was so weird listening to that hour because people were calling him Jonesy, calling Keith. He's not Mr. Jones. He's not the owner. This isn't like he's talking to, Jeffrey Lurie of the Eagles or John Middleton, just billionaires owning these teams.
Right.
They're talking to a guy who basically talks like us.
Yeah.
It was so cool to hear. It was just awesome.
Yeah. And one last hockey note. Rangers star Artemi Panarin is bald. Bald!
Oh, Your Highness, I'm sure it's not that noticeable. Bald!
All right, so now it's Tommy's turn.
All right.
No, my hair's thinning, but I'm fighting it.
Well, I think that just about does it for tonight's episode. But This is something I probably should have let in the episode. Why are we recording on Tuesday night as opposed to Wednesday, like when we usually record?
That's really going to throw my fucking week off.
What?
It's going to throw my week off. I'm going to think today's Wednesday.
Funny.
No, really.
All right.
Like now, you made it a week longer. Thank you.
Shut up. Anyway.
It doesn't bother me at all.
Well, but yeah, my wife and I remember to wear my ring this episode.
Yeah, can't flirt with you this episode.
You didn't flirt with me the one before, but
I would never flirt with you.
Brie was there, so.
You're not my type.
well, she's in the other room right now. She's watching Succession. But the simple answer why we're recording on Tuesday night is wifey and I are going on a double date tomorrow in Sebring. So
Thanks for the invite.
Wow, your date matters more than us?
Yeah, wow.
yeah.
This is disgusting, honestly. I'm out of here. Good thing I didn't.
Yeah, go buy your own pineapple.
Goodbye.
Go buy your whole pineapple.
See you later, Jack.
Why?
You have no idea how badly you hurt my feelings.
Dang. I guess that's how we're ending the episode. If you made we're stopping. Oh, they're coming back.
I forgot my beer.
I forgot my phone. Yeah.
Wait, all this is mine.
Come on, Zach.
Oh, fuck.
Alright, but this next topic, Tom, you see it on screen. Do you want to save it for next week or do we
There's a
just
topic?
I don't.
No, just a little banter.
Okay.
Shh.
Well, Tom's intrigued.
Well, actually, he was at Sonoma.
Oh, he was at Sonoma?
Yeah.
I was not at Sonoma.
Well, you have
No,
no
not
idea
you.
what we're talking
No, I
about
have
because
no
you don't have
idea.
the whole...
Yeah, I don't
Tom.
come prepared.
Shaq on Johnny Bravo,
Yeah.
also known as DJ
I
Diesel.
just randomly remember this week. I just randomly remembered, I remember you telling me you didn't watch Cartoon Network as a kid, but, I just remembered,
That could be a whole show right there, talking about Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, and Disney.
We need to start thinking of doing just generic ones because I gotta say, I'm pretty fucking funny.
Yeah,
But there was an episode of Johnny Bravo where Shaq was on it. Shaq did the voice and everything. And Johnny Bravo was his good luck charm. He wore Johnny Bravo like a backpack because he was winning basketball games. And then his arch rival at the end of the episode was Seth Green. And his lucky charm he was wearing his backpack was Huckleberry Hound.
Okay, so
oh, that actually brings me into another point. But keep going.
I was just
Sorry,
gonna
Brad.
say, just so you guys know, you will just find two people who are media icons, and honestly, God bless them because they've done so fucking well with it.
I think I broke the internet. Jack.
What? I see. Well, the video,
do it like this.
the video watchers will.
Yeah.
But anyway, I forgot what I was saying.
We were talking about.
Fuck you, man.
We were talking about Johnny.
You your cool way of drinking beer.
We were talking about Shaq on Johnny Bravo.
Oh, Shaq and Snoop Dogg are
Yes.
heroes to me because they will just find their way to get on your screen for some reason.
So
Snoop Dogg almost bought the Senators, but that didn't. What? He almost bought the Ottawa Senators.
Ottawa.
The Ottawa Senators.
So guess who was so in racing? There's the thing called the honorary starter, which is usually a celebrity. Could be a famous celebrity, or it could be someone within that series that's a big name will wave the green flag to start the race. Can you guess who this honorary starter was at Le Mans?
Jean Gerard.
No, hold on.
It's related to something, a topic we talked about.
Tonight?
Yes.
All right, 3 questions.
Topic you talked about.
3 questions. What industry do they work
You
in?
mean 3 guesses?
Sports.
Okay.
Sports, okay. All right.
He's an athlete.
He. Okay.
I guess you 3 right there.
Okay.
It's
Blonde
literally
hair?
the
Blonde hair?
No. Literally the last person you would fucking think.
Not American.
American.
American. Ooh. Shit. Mike Trout.
No.
No. He doesn't do anything.
What's the sport you cover?
Basketball.
Football.
Well, right now.
Baseball.
Basketball.
Basketball. Okay. Le Mans. Oh my God.
Think of
Dwight Howard.
Think of a big name in basketball.
Giannis Antetokounmpo.
He's always compared to Michael Jordan.
LeBron?
Jimmy Butler?
LeBron James was the fucking honorary of all fucking people. LeBron James was the honorary starter for Lamar.
Really?
And so like
Global icon.
they waved the French flag. Not the truce flag, the French flag. But he waved it like so. It was like
He tried, man. He tried.
at least Adam Driver was a fucking honorary starter for the Indy 500. He was like, shh. He was fucking twirling that fucking thing. You know,
he's crazy. Have you seen
he's
some of his
an
movies?
Indiana native. That's why he was the honorary starter. But
No wonder he's weird as fuck.
But yeah, I was like, why the fuck is LeBron James the fucking honorary starter for Lamar?
I don't know, man.
That literally made no sense.
He's also everywhere too.
He is.
Fair.
I'm not a fan of LeBron, but you know.
I hate the fact that he calls himself the GOAT.
Yeah.
Like if you have to say
If you're the
yourself,
best of all time, you're not.
Like
you're not
saying
you're
that.
mo-
You're
Even
not saying
Brady
that.
doesn't call himself the GOAT.
no. If you're saying that, you're not the GOAT to me.
Yeah.
You're way too cocky to be the GOAT.
Exactly.
At that point. Even that, like just that right there.
It's earned, not given.
Yeah. Is he one of the best ever?
Sure.
All time. Not the GOAT. Not the GOAT.
But yeah, I think that just about does it for tonight's episode, boys.
You already said that, and then we went to another topic.
Yeah, and we went like another 20
You
minutes.
gotta pick when to end.
Well, here's the thing. You guys were about to walk out on me, and then you came back.
That was a
Because
good
you
time to end
offended
it.
us. You didn't offend me, Jack.
I know.
But to counter Zach's point, I think we do just need to have like a fucking bullshit episode.
I'd love to be the host
Just,
of that one, though.
just talk about this
I'll come up
random
with
shit.
I'll come up with a topic, and let's just pick a week.
Because
where
I think
nothing's happening.
I think that would be great.
I think, you know what?
You think like
NBA's done. If NHL's done, why don't we try this next week? Because I'll just start writing shit because we won't have NHL and we won't have NBA.
We won't have
Baseball
NASCAR
will
either.
be crazy. We won't have NASCAR either. Ooh. Yeah, you know what? And baseball's just kind of in the middle of its shit right now.
yeah. Wait,
do that.
so are we doing that? Are we do that next week? We're gonna
You
have
can do that.
I think we can do yeah. Let's
So we're still FUNTS,
We're still FUNTS.
but not sports. We're fat unlike nerds talking shit.
Well, let's consider this. Let's consider this. I'll be the host, and we're gonna do a shot of Zack Danielz because this weekend I am going to be posting the review for Youngblood.
Yes,
What's next?
I can't wait for
Days
that.
of Thunder.
Ooh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. We should do. See, I feel like for that, honestly for Youngblood, I was thinking like maybe I should just talk to Jack about it. You know?
Like you do
Yeah.
do the episode. Yeah, I mean
It's already done.
Yeah,
I just have to post it, and I have to edit it and post it. But I mean,
I'll tell you what. Next hockey movie, I'll collaborate with you.
yeah,
I'm sure Miracle's on the list. I'll help you with Miracle.
yeah,
Because I definitely would like to collaborate with you with Days of Thunder.
yeah. I'd love to watch Days of Thunder because I didn't know it existed, and also it had Tom Cruise on it.
Think
Tom
of
Cruise.
Top Gun, but NASCAR.
Oh God,
Yeah.
I hate Tom Cruise. So
Yeah.
can't wait.
I hate how his one tooth, like one
He's
of his
right
teeth,
in the middle.
His right tooth is like in the middle of his face.
I hate how he's Tom Cruise. Like I just don't like Tom Cruise.
But this is 1990s Tom Cruise. Like
I am not a
1990
woman.
Tom
I am
Cruise.
not a woman.
Nicole, is it Nicole Kidman? Is she in it?
Yes, that was.
Is that how they got married?
That's the nurse. Yes. Yes.
What a disaster. I hate her too.
John C. Reilly's in it.
That's crazy. Was that before like What's Eating Gilbert Grape?
Yeah.
Damn.
Wow.
A weird time. Never forget when I was like not born yet.
Yeah, right? What a great time.
It really was.
Dude, I remember when I didn't have taxes and debt.
I don't want to be a kid again.
Yeah.
But anyway, if you made it this far, thank you very much for listening. If you like this episode, be sure to like it and share it with all your friends. If you didn't like this episode,
Well, fuck you.
That too, but I thank you very much for listening this far. Why would you do that? Be sure.
Fuck Tom Cruise.
But yeah, be sure to
Flex backer.
subscribe. Be sure to subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube at Fat Unlikers Talking Sports. Be sure to follow us on our social medias at FUNTS Podcast on Twitter and Instagram and on Facebook at Fat Unlikers Talking Sports. This is JackKnife alongside Tommy Joe and the Zack Danielz. Have a wonderful night, everyone.
Sorry about the echo.
Do.